Ambassador Kathy Stevens, one of the things she said was the 60th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War in Seoul. And then 2013, General Paik came to visit Washington, D.C. And then that year, 2013, it was the 60th anniversary of the armistice of the Korean War. And then, of course, it was also the 60th anniversary of the Mutual Security Treaty between Korea and then the United States. And a huge ceremony was held at the Washington Mall. This would be something General Sharp would, of course, remember. I think General Sharp was the chairman of the organizing committee at the time. And that rally, that ceremony was presided by President Obama himself. And then he came there and then he made a speech and he recognized all the people being, dignitaries being recognized there. And then when he came to the turn of General Paik, I still remember it. He introduced General Paik as a legend, living legend. So now we are here. General Paik passed away 5 days ago. And then we are here to pay tribute to him. I'm just asking myself why all of us agree to calling him as a living legend. I think it was because he was a man of enormous courage. And then General Chung, he just talked about Tabudong battle. And the Ambassador Kathy Stevens also talked about the Tabudong battle. And then one of the things I remember from the battle is this, which is, well, if I turn my back to the enemies, shoot me. And I think only a very courageous person could be saying that to his men. I think we also must remember his commitment. General Chung talked about him during his time as Chief of Staff, Army Chief of Staff, had an opportunity to come and visit Washington, D.C. to meet with President Eisenhower. But what I really admire about him is, during the whole period of the Korean War, which was more than 1,100 days, he spent every single day on the battleground. Maybe except those days he spent in order to make a trip to Washington, D.C. And only a man with enormous sense of commitment could be doing that. But at the same time, on top of this courage, on top of this commitment, he had this vision. This vision was, well, we live in a very turbulent world, and then we are living through a very, very turbulent time. And it will be only through the alliance between our two countries that we could be defending our freedom, could be promoting peace and prosperity. And that was his belief, that was his vision throughout all his life. And I think that vision was true back in 1950. And that vision still holds today. So that, and then for many reasons, I'm so glad in joining you to pay my tribute to General Paik. Let me briefly come back to that ceremony which was being observed on July 27th, 2013. That was the 60th anniversary of the armistice of the Korean War. After that ceremony, then General Paik wanted to come and visit Arlington National Cemetery. So when it came to this standard issue tombstone of General Walker, he just knelt down and hugged that tombstone with both of his arms, dwelt his face on the tombstone, and then stayed there. And then we moved on, and then came to this tombstone of General Van Fleet. He did the same thing. I was watching him from behind, and I said to myself, well, General Paik, he's paying his last farewell to his comrades in arms. And then as I'm here to pay my own tribute to General Paik, I just want to do the same thing myself. I just want to hold him again in both of my arms, dwell my face upon his shoulder, and say this to him. General, thank you so much. Farewell and see you again. Thank you.